What's going on out there, everybody? This is our official recap spoiler discussion on Westworld Season 4. This drops today as you're watching it, June the 27th. This is a spoiler filled discussion, so just be forewarned if you haven't seen the episode yet, go ahead and check it out. I'm going to introduce our co host here. I have here Jedi Mike. What's going on, good sir?
Feeling
That is,
good. How you
that
doing?
is that is a robotic smile that you have,
Well,
good sir.
yeah, right. On staying in theme. No.
Yeah, yeah, on brand. Have here Aunt Gold. What's going on, brother?
Not much. Just questioning my reality, seeing if I'm real or not. How would I know if I'm real? I
Hey,
could just be a robot you programmed to help you co-host this. I don't know. I don't
Mhm.
know, man. I'm freaking out.
hey,
No, how's
hey,
it going?
hey! Look, at 12:14 a.m. at night, I have no idea how it's going because we're just existing in this reality. It's Westworld, but yeah. So Westworld is back, you guys. A lot of you guys have said, season one was great, season two was great, but season three was lacking in a lot of different respects. I personally had a good conversation with Mike. I haven't talked to Ann about it, but I love certain episodes of season three. But as a story and the cohesion side of it, certain characters didn't work. Certain story threads didn't work. So I was really apprehensive going into episode one of season four. And I don't know, were you guys feeling the same exact way going into it? Um, or were you kind of like, oh, okay, this is gonna be leagues better?
Mm.
I was curious y'all perspective going into it before we start talking about it.
Um, Listen, this was one of my favorite shows. Like years ago, like when it first came out, and especially season two. And then when I was excited for season three, it just kind of took a downward spiral. Where for someone who's very observant, who like reads the lore or read books and all that stuff, or understanding plot and the storytelling, it just like this was very very complex in a way that it didn't need to be. At least season three that left. I think that kind of hurt a lot of viewers from like actually fully embracing the show, unlike what they did with the first two seasons. And when we go into this episode, we'll talk more. But um, it's still, I feel like they haven't learned a lesson, in my personal opinion. But yeah.
What about you, Ant?
uh, I remember being very disappointed about season three, thinking, "All right, this ran its course. I'm good." Like I got season one. That was pretty much a complete story for me. I'm good. I think that in season three, the big anticipation was the two deadly androids versus each other, right? Dolores and Maeve. That was the big lead up to their fight.
Mm-hmm.
Am I remembering this correctly?
Yeah.
Uh, uh, that was cool. I really did not fall. I This is one of those things how I felt like at the end of season three of Stranger Things, when I was kind of like, all right, this is a good run. I'm all right. And season four came of Stranger Things. I'm like, all right, I'm interested again. So
Right.
I'm hoping that this season will come and cultivate my interest again.
Yeah. For me, like I already said, I was really apprehensive about going into it. What I will say about this show as a whole, from a branded standpoint, you're really not going to get the grasp of what's really going on until like the second or third episode. So I kind of knew going into this that if they go down the trend that they normally do, it's going to be like a little bit of information here. Half of the cast aren't even there yet. We're not going to even get a understanding or a thread of what is the baseline of the different arcs until like the second and third episode. I just wanted for what I was watching to be entertained by, and I wanted it to not be so stupid. that was that's a low bar, but that's where I was kind of at with this one. They start off rip. You got my man Ed Harris. He comes over to a damn location. The cartel is kind of taking over the location and the site. He's like, "Look, give my money. Like, I need to get it. I need to give me what I reserved. I'll give you money for it. Do what you need to do." They're like, "No, we ain't selling." Like, all right, well, if you can do this the easy way or the hard way, the choice is
What's
yours.
yours?
Your choice is yours.
But
I see you chose the hard way.
they took the hard way. This man said, "Quote, tomorrow you will give it to me," and I was like, I don't know what's about to happen, but all of them about to die. And one of the characters, he had a moment. I don't I don't know, and it's such an interesting thread because it seems as though he was infected. Like his mind was infected, because it started off with like one little fly, and I think you brought it up, Mike. That was reminiscent to like season 1 with Dolores. Flies are always a thread of this, but it's just interesting. He saw like a mound of flies, and then he wakes up in his bathroom, almost like he's a completely different person, like his mind has been changed. I guess he killed most of his board members, and he came back and sold everything left, and then took his own life. I like that thread because it leads me to believe that whatever Ed Harris did, or whatever he's been exposed to, did that to him. And I don't know if that's a technology or if that's actually his body. There's something going on, because I can't remember the end thread for his arc last season, but I want to believe that in between him kind of killing his daughter and not, he gets to understanding that he may have been changed. Like he's actually been changed in some capacity. So I was curious y'all's perspective from last season into this one. How did y'all feel about Ed Harris in this episode so far?
Again, it kept going to a point like we're still confused where we left off of season 3 to the answer of him, being a host or not. And then now, I guess to a point we look like we're in Westworld, but apparently because of what the incident that happened, they've been bought by a new owner, and now they're trying to buy the property back. Because now at this time, what we're looking at has been 7 years since season 3, and I think that where they're gonna, again, sometime, at least what they're set up for season 3, that they're gonna bring back the host in a grander scale. And since the whole events that happened in season 1, season 2, they're now trying to recoup the land that was lost from them. So I think that's what they're trying to do.
Man, Harris just shut me down, yo. he took me off the map for a second. Yeah, I think you're right about that. I'm just trying to figure out. Well, I mean, no, let's be real about this. This man looks exactly the same, and it's been 7 years later.
Right?
No, he's a host at this point. He's a host. I just don't know who's pulling his strings. My thought and my theory is this is OG Dolores, or possibly Tessa Thompson's Dolores version, because she was the one that not had a vendetta against him, but she was using him. But what about you, Ant? What do you think about? What is he doing? What is his baseline for this?
I really don't have any real theories on this, except that if he is a host, he got some of that badassness from the original in this. That was a line. You can take this money today, or I can pay nothing tomorrow for it. Look, people, I get there's polite society and repercussions, but someone said that to you that you get it for free the next day, you might as well cap them right there. That man had a gun on him right there. Don't let nobody walk away from you doing that. Right, or at least don't stay in the same place he was when he left you. Because like Sam said, he wasn't making it through the night. And I thought he was going to go with something like they were going to replace him with a host to go and make the deal or something like that. And because we had a mass of flies up there, right? But then I was like, also, well, maybe it was. I think we all had the same thought around the same time. It was like, well, that's not a real fly. Like maybe it's some nanotech, or maybe they figured out how to reprogram the human brain from studying it so much. If so, that gives him an incredible edge. It's very hard to stop a whole swarm from reprogramming you. Right. And even the fly was in the intro, like the building of the fly, which I'm thinking, I don't think we've seen that in the other intro, so it's going to be a major component. But yeah. And then he was like, thank you. He even took the time to thank you, guy. And he's like, am I done? Yeah, you can rest now. That's rough, buddy.
Yeah, I'm all the way for that. That storyline, that story thread, I'm actually for. Now, we also, because of Ed Harris doing that, Maeve, at a certain point, she, I guess she was trying to recollect what happened. Like she was going back through her own memories, and in doing that, leading up to present day, it was just too much. Like it shorted out the system. I don't know why she would be stupid enough to do that like that. But she did. And I was kind of like, you just gave your position away. So I think it was more so of an emotional thing. She wanted to kind of like feel or connect, and she was alone because she's out there in the middle of nowhere, and she's been doing it for 7 years total. But in doing that, it piqued the interest of Ed Harris. Literally the next day, they were there looking for her. Like Ed Harris has got a lot of power, he's got a lot of wealth. He's an OG, but that was way too quick for me. And I think she picked up on it, and she was like, "Who sent you?" And then when she found out, she's like, "Oh, let me get out of here because I don't know who he's connected with to get there that quickly to me."
Right.
What did you guys think about her, and I guess where the trajectory of her character is going?
I think her portrayal was great in this episode. Very hardcore how she dealt with the guy. Please close your eyes. Um, Look, she been off the grid for 7 years. Let that woman be in peace. Only Ed Harris' character, only the Man in Black is bringing somebody back that ain't messed with nobody in 7 years.
Right.
So, and is she going to hunt him now because she's been hunted? Right? Is she going to try to go to ground again, or is she going to come bring it to him? So that'll be interesting.
All right. How about you, Mike? What do you think?
Yeah, I think Maeve like she had like the best performance from like at least this episode, but again, kind of like she's the only one really brought the main action to this. Uh, and again, you kind of following her, like, okay, what's her arc? Just this season, especially like the whole thing with her daughter and previous ones, and then reflecting, saving another parent, from losing their daughter who looks very similar to Maeve. And because for a second, like 2 seconds when I sort of like saw the daughter, I was like, wait, did Maeve and him like got together or something like that?
I was like, biologically, how is that even possible? But
Possible,
she
right?
she
And it's like, oh
can't
no,
she
no,
can't.
he got another black woman. I'm like, okay, cool. I was like,
And the kid was still grow to be an adult without barring sickness or death.
Right.
mhm.
Yeah.
Right. True.
Yeah,
So
True.
it's interesting because it's been 7 years. Is she the same kid? Is like there's a lot of questions here, and as far as we know, the world thinks they've destroyed most of the hosts, right?
Supposedly.
Yeah. So we're seeing a lot of hosts with some very famous faces just walking around.
Right. Well, we do know. I can't remember all of it because I probably should have done a refresher. I felt like the original Dolores saved a few extra containers. I can't remember
Mm-hmm.
how many, but
a lot.
I can't remember. But she'll be the last person we talk about because I have some negatives about her character arc. But again, I'll preface it like this, and you guys that are watching this, I'm not gonna judge her arc yet until we've at least had 1 to 2 to 3 episodes because we haven't introduced all the other characters. Like Tessa Thompson's character hasn't been introduced. We don't understand what they're gonna do with the other Hemsworth, and we don't know where Bernard or not Bernard, but Arnold, where Arnold is gonna fit in the mix of this as well. So I'm gonna wait, but it's just hard because you saw the first season and the first episode just hit so hard
Mm-hmm.
and it hooked you. But that's what his job was. As a first episode, the pilot, that's the job of the first pilot is to hook you. The first episode of season 2 didn't hook me, but the second episode of season 2, it did hook me. Third season, nothing really hooked me. So it's like with this, at least these first 2 pathways, it hasn't been too stupid. It's actually been really engaging. It's been action packed. It's been shot well. But now we're gonna lead into a character that in season 3 was I felt like underutilized as an actor. Like this man can act. And I felt like all season 3, they just kind of had him roaming around. I didn't like his storyline. It didn't make any sense. They used a lot of exposition. But with this, they gave him, even though it's been 7 years, they gave him something to do. They have him having something to protect, something tangible, using his actual skill set and his emotion. I like that they're bringing him back into the fray like this because now they have something to build on. And us as an audience member, we have something to build on with them because before I could care less. I didn't even remember his name was Caleb. I just kept on calling him Aaron Paul every episode. Like I was like, oh Aaron. What's going
It
on?
was,
You with Maeve? Now you with Dolores? Okay. What's good, dog?
I was even confused, like, because we're doing like the boys at the going back and forth. I'm like, wait, is this Maeve? And I'm like, is it wrong for me to say Maeve? Like, oh, it's Maeve. Okay, yeah. It's been so long because COVID added a lot of years or actually time from this, and so I feel like it's been a longer season than it actually been.
Right. But how did y'all like his story thread in this episode?
They gave him plot, like
Right.
like they gave him a family, actual some emotional arc other than something that we can reveal about his past somewhat. Like in the season 3, he's a retired veteran, and also dealt with who's also orphan, and who has the mental issues, who's also on drugs, but also has a part-time job as a bounty hunter for hire. Um, and also a construction worker. So
You know what? I'm just gonna
I
go
mean,
back to this new picture.
this is your average, this is your average GTA or Sims character. like seriously, give him that, whatever. And then this season, like, oh no, he's stable, got a job, like no, sufficient job, got a daughter and wife and everything. Wife very impatient, and also no security in that house, even with the advancement of human technology. Children can just walk out in their bedrooms and just walk out the door easily. you know, well, no, none of us knowing. Um,
So it was
yeah,
weird. So I connected with the daughter, but I didn't connect with the wife. I'm gonna ask y'all. So that is his biological child, right?
yeah, because it's been 7 years. She would probably been the right age for that, supposedly. I mean,
I mean, I asked that question in a show like this. You really don't know if he maybe. I don't really know because this woman just come out of nowhere. They don't give you any context of how he met her, why he met her, like why
Why
he
he
didn't stick with
cares.
Maeve,
no,
right?
but again, it was emphasizing time throughout everything. Like even kept saying, "Yo, you remember when they got wiped out? Whatever, all of them,
Yeah.
then like other even then like where even like Dolores is at again, it's just like they give enough time and not like make it recent to a point where it's like, oh wait, you were just knocked out, or apparently you're dead, or something. Now we're like giving the emphasis of time.
Mm-hmm.
Again, 7 years. Even then, like even Maeve said, I've been on the run for 7 years. Like where the property been owned by a different owner. So of Westworld. So yeah, I guess they just still try to emphasize that time, but yet you can't trust it.
Right, right. It's
Yeah.
I mean, for all we know, what I'm saying, the wife is, a host. We really don't know. But with the wife, it was just so weird because I was like, I mean, I get it. Like he's dealing with PTSD and he's also trying to be a dad, he's trying to be a husband, and somewhere he might be lacking. But I think her anxiety, like, well, not her anxiety, but her hesitancy with like his anxiety was kind of like weird to me. Because I was like, realistically, bro, like they both heard something outside. At least check the security camera. She didn't want to do that. She was like, everything's fine. And I don't know if she was in denial or she just, I don't know. It was just weird. It was kind of like, that's why I'm questioning.
But again, children don't act like that. They would mentally when the teddy bear fell out, daddy, mom, mommy, like it.
Oh no, it ain't even that. Like it was when they heard something outside. The mom didn't press for them to go and get something checked out. Now the whole girl situation, I knew for a fact they were both gonna miss her go by because I was like, if y'all are thinking that there's nothing outside, then yeah, something's definitely gonna happen. It's every movie, every horror movie is the
Is
same
your
exact
daddy
way,
home? And
right?
like the very sinister look.
Bruh, he was about to kill
Like
that little girl. He was about to
yeah.
kill her. But thankfully at that point, Maeve showed up. It's just hard. It's how like I feel like Maeve and him were together last season for less than 3 episodes, maybe four, roughly. Because the whole entire time he was with Dolores. He was like helping Dolores out, figuring out what to do to work with stuff through her. And even down to the bitter end. But it seems as though now, like he's like, look, I gotta protect my family. I gotta do what I gotta do. I think it was a well acted scene by him, um, but I don't know how he's gonna contribute outside of dying. I really don't. I really don't.
Mm.
Every human. Is there any more humans left? Because Ed Harris ain't a human no more. So who is there any more humans of the main cast anymore? Anthony Hopkins died. I'm pretty sure Ed Harris is gone. Ed Harris' daughter is gone.
Tessa Thompson, human.
Tessa Thompson is
Yeah,
gone.
gone.
But did they mention her being like, we don't know who's human and who's not at this point.
Well, so she got changed last season.
Change.
Right.
So she's gone. Like her actual self is gone. Matter of fact, daggone, Dolores killed her whole. Anyway, yeah. When she pops up, whenever she pops up, I'm theorizing it's going to be connected to Ed Harris's character. But yeah, I like Caleb's thread in this one. I like the way that they utilize him, and I liked how it interweave all the last the last three that we just talked about all work together. The only one that comes out of left field is, of course, whatever this new version of Dolores is. And I don't. Did they ever say what her name is? Did I miss that?
Who? The roommate?
Dolores.
No, Dolores. Did they call her Dolores?
No. No one mentioned Dolores at all. At all. That's what I'm saying. It's like her hair's different. All of it. I'm like, it's someone different. I'm like,
so did they call her anything? Did anybody give her a name?
that I recall.
Not that I recall.
I mean,
yeah, I don't either. But the story thread for that one is we see somebody that looks like Dolores. It's got dark hair. She is roommates with the Oscar winner and the amazing Ariana DeBose. And I guess they're roommates, even though I don't really see them rooming together because I didn't even see her other side of the room. And I guess she's a game designer. She works on the NPCs that kind of don't do anything. And she's getting these random calls from different people. And one of them was saying, you have to change the storyline. You have to change the story thread. It has to change. What do you guys pick from this whole thing? Do you guys think that this is a story thread that takes place in the past? Do you think this is a story thread that's in somebody's mind? It's the only one that's out of left field, and it's the only one that I have negatives about. But I was curious y'all's perspective. What are y'all thinking?
Go ahead. I'm still processing.
I don't know. I'm interested. I just don't want to be let down with a plot. So I'm here. I'm just here for the ride.
That's too hard to ask.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I was like, I really have any words. So I'm just like, just give me something good to hope, just to grasp onto. I'm like, okay, like we back, Other than like you got like, other than you got me when they saw the trailer for season 4, which I didn't know came out, and I watched it, like, oh, okay, now here we are. So I really had no really much anticipation for this show other than like, oh, it's coming back, So I need to know the story. Cause I was so strong in the beginning, but this I'm just like, I'm still trying to grasp on like what's the story, and also even questioning, do I even care? Like, as a fan who stuck with it in the beginning, that to a point that, are you also being consistent with the audience in terms of what we put them through in season 1? Now it's like, hey, you stuck with us this time. Hey, now we have to make sure we are able to still entertain you and give you a developing and interesting story.
Yeah, for me personally, I'm gonna wait until all the characters have been put on screen. Once all the characters have been put on screen, then I'll at least have an inkling of where these threads are gonna go. I knew that they were gonna cut some stuff short with this one because they always do. They've done that since season 1. But I'll put it to you like this: if by the time episode 3 comes out and I'm still trying to figure it out and I really don't care, then they've lost me personally. I'm going to give them 2 more episodes. This next episode, I'm pretty sure Tessa Thompson's character is going to show up, if not Arnold. And that'll be very intriguing because now 7 years later, not pre, but post everything that went down with the machine. I think personally that it has something to do with the original game, the original Westworld. Just her designing NPCs. Like there was something that she had said when she was talking about designing like a girl with her dad, and I was like, this is Dolores from the original game.
Right.
And even like her thoughts about love. And yeah, at the end of this episode, spoiler alert, your boy Cyclops, Teddy shows back up. He's just in the clear. So that leads me to believe that Teddy was the one that intercepted the guy that was threatening Dolores. Well, whoever she is. He was the one that protected her. Why he's protecting her, I have no idea. And how he's alive, I have no idea. I also was going to ask you guys, what happened to Maeve's daughter?
She got sent to heaven, robot heaven, in season 2.
So,
and the whole
but
point,
didn't Teddy do that too?
yes, that again, right, which then goes with who's in that body. And also, what are we watching in that space? Like, is that actually a different? Is that reality or is that something different? Like,
Right.
Like of Dolores's arc, right? Because we can say
Right.
it's real, but what we happened in season 3 when Maeve, when she woke up and she thought she was in the outside the park, realized she was just in another simulation within a
It's in her mind.
simulation.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. This is the only one. This is the only story thread that doesn't make sense for me, and it just feels so out of left field. It just doesn't really work for me yet because I don't have enough pieces to make it make sense for me to care. And when you get to a point where you don't have enough pieces to make you care, then you start thinking, oh man, the whole season might be like this. So that's why I'm reserving judgment for now. But I can definitely say it could go somewhere. But so far, I haven't been given enough to care about Dolores or if that's Dolores' story arc. And because season 3 made such a point of having so many different versions of different people, I don't even know who that actually is. It could be the person that was modeled after Dolores. I don't know. I really have absolutely no idea. But it is the weak link of this episode for me. I could take it or leave it. I honestly wish they if they were smart, they would give 2 episodes out. I know HBO doesn't do that, but I would probably give 2 episodes, and that way you can hook people in. You know what I mean? Because if it was, then you know for a fact you would have at least enough that people are like, oh, okay, I know where I'm standing with this. But I feel like the audience, and you guys let us know in the comment section below, did the Dolores arc put you off? Did that kind of like, I don't know if I want to check this out. The first half was cool, middle was cool, but then this, I don't know. Curious y'all's perspective. Yeah, that's all I got, guys. Anything else that we missed?
Other than just amazing cinematography, like the shots in the set design of this whole series. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm like. As much as you might have issues with the plot, this is a visual masterpiece of HBO. They don't disappoint. So, and to me, I'm always a sucker. Like, even if it's a horrible script, I'll still watch it for like cool, like science fiction, just reality, like technology, cars, space, furniture, like that bed, that little small apartment that Dolores had. Like, I want that. I know, like the cost of of one person a bedroom apartment is raising prices now. I want that. Saving space in the closet. Yeah.
That's
So.
hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
So what do we grade this? I mean, you know what? Let's not even do that because
Don't.
let's not even do that because I feel like, again, like I'm saying, I really can't necessarily. You need to be able to focus in on it a little bit longer, and I don't think all the pieces are there for me to kind of make a fair judgment. I'm gonna wait for 2 episodes to kind of make a full rating. But yeah, you guys, we're tired, we're exhausted. Thank you guys for watching with us. We'll be back sometime. I don't know when. We'll be back. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell button. Oh, real quick, Mike, where can we find your work, man?
You can find me on YouTube at JediMike7 Reviews, News, and Truth. I have a ton of content that'll be coming up soon. Make sure you hit the notification bell on your way out. But also
Ding,
make
ding.
sure you subscribe to this channel as well. Now I won't be a stranger on here. And thank you guys for having me. It's always a pleasure.
course, brother. Ant, where can people find you, man?
Right here in this room. If you find the 7 pieces of the puzzle, you might be able to discover if I lock my location and time.
And that's it. We're going. Make sure you come check back out. We'll be back for episode 2 next week. All right, guys. Peace.
Falling out the top of the
I can see the skyline, 50 mile radius on my timeline. Ain't